Okay. Well, hello everybody. How you doing? I'm Dan, and this is Dan's 30-foot dory build. I'm still here, and I'm still planning, and yes, I'm still building. I've got my build sheets here for reference. I'm going to try to get everything right this time. I find when I'm talking in this video, in these videos I'm making, I call things different names, or I don't remember where they are, what they are. And I thought I'd just make this a little bit more accurate, I guess is a word. I guess most know by now that Jeff Spira International, the gentleman, had passed away a little while back. Very sad thing to happen. When I ordered my plans, I was speaking to him over the phone to get an idea exactly what's involved with his plans and stuff. And he seemed to sound like he knew what he was talking about, you know. And I ended up ordering the Key West 30-foot dory. Now, it is 30 feet long from stern to bow. The beam is 8'4", and the bottom center of the hull is 6 foot. So it's a decent sized boat. Now, before I continue, I would like to point out that coming into November, I had 84 subscribers. Now, I don't know what happened, but in the last 3 months, I went up to 98 subscribers. And I just checked my phone again today. I have 101 subscribers. So I'm thinking I must be doing something right, okay? If not, certainly don't do it this way. You'll be able to figure out once you start watching the videos. Not everything I've done is exactly 100% the plan. I did a few things ahead of plan. I had to go back. You know, you get a little excited and you figure, well, you know, it won't hurt. Just follow the plan step by step. Make it easy on yourself. But I have 101 subscribers. I mean, that is pretty cool. It's taken me a year to get to 101. And, you know, that's okay. You know, that's okay. Like, I got probably over 1,600 views, and I do the same thing. But when somebody subscribes, they're subscribing because they're either interested in what you're doing or what you're doing is interesting. As I've mentioned before in my videos, my intention is not to tell you how to build your boat, because definitely everybody has different budgets. They're working in different conditions. Some people have garages, warehouses, and you get a person like me, I'm working outside. So it takes me a little longer to get what I need done, meaning that it's gonna, you know, I got, almost 7, 8 months of a 12-month season I lose. So I might get a decent 4 months in. Last year was a good year. It was hot. It was really hot last year. We got a full 4 months in. Matter of fact, I did a lot of talking about trying to get my bottom finished on my boat and get it painted. And I did. I was lucky I did. I mean, I held out. Well, I didn't hold out, but the way the finances worked out and the product I needed worked out right at the last second. So I got it painted that day when I was working. I think it was 18 degrees. It was perfect. I put my two coats of epoxy finish on the bottom. And for the amount of time that this boat will see the water, I just went with epoxy because it was cost efficient and I can tint it. So basically I didn't want a black bottom boat, that's all. And I used a satin finish. I've watched a lot of videos, and I am subscribed to many videos on anyone that's building their own boat. Now, I've seen guys take a 17-foot and flat bottom boat and put a supreme paint job. I mean, it's smooth like glass. I'm planning to use this boat when it's done. I just don't think that's practical to put that much beauty in the finish of a paint on the bottom of the boat. So I went with a rough sanding, and I used my epoxy primer, 2 coats over it, and then I did the 2-part epoxy finish over that. So I got 4 coats of product over my fiberglass, and I went with the flat look, semi-gloss flat look. And I went with that because it's going to get scratched up. And to me, as an ex-painter, it's just easier to patch up something that's already doesn't look beautiful. Because if you put a beautiful Supreme paint job on something, you got to keep it that way. And if you need to repair it, it's a lot of work to make it match. So, yeah. The top side from the waterline up will be a battleship gray. I've already got the paint put away. I was considering painting it at the end of last season. I had time to do it, and I chose not to. I still have to flip the boat, so I'm assuming if I paint it now or then, I go for the flip, I'd scratch it up, possibly, and then have to touch it up. So instead of doing that as an ex-painter, I'm gonna wait till next season. It is already primed and ready to go for the paint. So after the flip, I'm planning to put some 2x4 stands under it to support it off the ground, obviously, so it's not sitting on the ground with that paint on it. And I'll paint it then. Yeah, so that's already set up to go. Now, I was going to put, and I've already mildly mentioned this in one of my other videos, I was thinking of buying one of them Viking aluminum motor mounts. Well, I looked up the prices on them, and I'm Canadian. So yeah, it was hovering around $1,600, what I was looking at anyway. It's a single mount and it has a large base on it. You can actually stand beside the motor. So yeah, they're big bucks. So I don't have that kind of budget. So I was talking to one of my subscribers, like I say, and we were talking about making a wooden one out of 3/4 inch plywood, fiberglassing it, and hanging the engine off of that. And that seemed like good sense. So you got to dig a hole in the back of your boat, which I've already done in the transom there. And then that gets inserted inside and gets blocked up inside, and that's where it's all supported. Okay. At that point, I thought, that's the way I'm going to go. Well, internet, you're right. You're looking in the internet. I'm always looking on the internet. So I come up to this one fella, and basically the title of the video is how to extend your motor mount. So what basically he did, he just extended the whole hull shape out 30 inches or whatever the measurement was, and then he goes up the height you need. In my case it's 22, and then he boxed it in. So basically it's a 22-inch high extension off the back, the width of your boat. Now with that being said, I can hang 2 motors off that. You know, I can hang 2 outboards. So if I ever decide to keep it, or if I want to sell it, somebody has a choice. You know, maybe one motor to them is not enough for a 30-foot boat. They may have 2 60s they want to throw on, or 2 90s, or whatever, right? So I'm watching these videos, and some people come in, I don't know how some people are doing their bills. I mean, everything costs money. And some of these guys are building the stuff, and they've got this, they've got that, they've got this. I just don't know how they're financing their bill, unless they've been saving for a long time. I've always wanted to send away and ask for the question, how the hell are you doing this? Are you sponsored? Are you getting people sending you stuff? Because some of the stuff they're coming up with is brand new stuff, and some of it's partially used, but they're doing it. So it's certainly something for me to think about down the road when I decide to buy a motor. Because down here in Canada, you pay through the nose for everything. So hopefully, I can get a deal. I was thinking of a 200 would work on this boat. What brand doesn't matter, as long as it runs. So where am I at now? Well, I'm at 101 subscribers. I'd like to thank you all for subscribing. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging in. I have actually not lost any subscribers since I started my series here on how I am building a 30-foot dory. Now, the short story behind that is I was on the net. I couldn't find anybody building a flat-bottom dory. Now I found this one fella, he built a 24-footer by Jeff Spire. That would be the one size smaller than I'm building. And he built it. And basically they show it in stages, not to the extreme that I'm doing it. And it looked like a really nice boat, and he turned it into a center console. Now, center consoles look good, they probably work great, but they're smack dab in the middle of your boat. So on the 24-footer, excuse me, on the 24-footer, you had very little room to walk beside the console from the back to the front. Let's just call it simple. And the area they were sitting in had a seat made across the back of the boat. So that's where they were sitting. And of course, the steering was done in the center of that bench. You can still sit 2 people on each side of you, which you can do. And there was, I think there was a fella sitting up in front enjoying the ride. And I think he had a 200 or a 150 on it. And it looked like it was cruising really nice. So that's the closest I've come to a boat that I'm building, is that 24-footer. The rest of them are all shorter boats, 17. I think I've seen a couple of 19s in there, but not all that many. Now I know there's a lot of people that are building boats out there like I am, and like you are, my viewers, my subscribers are building their own boat at home. Now, the reason why I'm doing it at home is I've always wanted a boat. And before I made the mistake of moving out to Alberta, I lived in Ottawa, Ontario, and I was about to buy a boat. It was called a 17-foot Spectrum convertible. When I understand what that meant is that you can have nice cushions to go for a ride with friends, or you start flipping stuff around and you turn it into a fishing boat. And I believe it had 150 on it. So that, at the last second, never panned out because we decided to move out here. So I've been here 24 years, and I finally decided 3 years ago, I'm going to build a boat. I don't want to finance one because that will just take forever to pay off. So that's what I decided to do 3 years ago, build one. So I was looking at plans. I saw Jeff Spira, his website. He had like 103 different type of plans, and I picked the 30-footer because I'm just that kind of person. Okay, I like big things. So yeah. So where am I at? Well, the boat, for those of you who've been following, for you new viewers that haven't gone through all my videos yet, the boat, the hull, the frames are made, the hull is together, the plywood planking is installed, shin logs, the planking wood 3/4 on the side are installed. The only thing left I really have to do is put the rub rails on and the rail caps on. Now, of course, that comes in after the boat is flipped, and you can stand there and work the material so you can install it. Now, the only thing is I want to figure out is that rub rail, according to his plan, is supposed to be a 1x3. Now, since the boat is 30 feet long, what do? Do I get 2 pieces of 20 foot, splice them together, and run that down the side of the boat while it's upside down? Because it'd be a lot easier just to pull wood down than it is to push wood up. So once I get that rub rail on the outside installed, and the rub rail going across the transom, which I will connect to the one going down the side as one piece after it's finished, I got to decide what to do at the top. Now, I was talking about building a cabin on this boat. Now, I've seen even recently some pictures on the net of different ways to finish the boat. Now, I know a cabin would be easy to put on this, in the front, keep us out of the rain if it happens to rain. Cost efficient, I can scrap the cabin idea and build a windshield coming up with sides on it and call it a day and just finish it into the cap rails, right? And then run my wood down down the rub rail to the back, and then, you know, finish it and work some kind of wood detail along the back, adding strength to the transom to handle the weight of that motor, that outboard going in there. I had plans of going 1/3 of the way down, which would be partially deck, cabin, and the rest of it open. Now, the reason why I went with a larger boat, so I'd have more room. So I have to be very careful about how I break this down and how much cabin I want. Because if you put too much cabin on it, it turns into a cabin cruiser. So you lose all that room to stand around and move around, and all that room I'm trying to gain by building a larger boat. So there's a lot of things I gotta decide I want to do. I still like the cabin idea. The question is now, if I put a cabin in, the seats will go inside the cabin to drive the boat from the inside. My original intention was to drive the boat from the back. So basically put the seat in the left or right hand side of the boat, off to one side, leaving all that floor space open. Another thing I've been doing this winter so far is following my plans, looking at them, and still trying to decide the best way to lay out the inside of the boat for a cabin if I wish to do so, or do I just turn it into a very large outboard with a deck in the front, cap strips to match going down the back, and right in here, I was thinking of making it round here with plywood, 3/4 inch plywood round, like flat a deck, and then finish it with matching material from the cap strips. Okay? Now, these are all ideas. Now, the other idea I had for the motor mount, as I was mentioning to you, I'll try to make this as easy as possible. Now, this is the shape. This is 21 degrees right here. Now, another way to do this is to use the full width. Okay? And that would go up 22 inches and come straight out, down on an angle, and back in. So basically, I'm adding a box to the back, 22 inches high by 30 inches deep. So which will extend the back out 30 inches, and the motor would be trying to get it right here. The motor would be sticking right back out here, right? So it won't even be attached to the boat. But that would give you a choice of possibly mounting 2 motors on the back. I mean, it's a choice, right? It's a choice. Now, that would also add flotation. Being that would boxed in and you cap it and you seal it. So it would also add as extra flotation in the back. So it looked pretty good on the boat that I was watching this fella install that on. I have enough glass to glass it. I would only have to buy several sheets of 3/4 inch plywood and some fir 2x4s again, and frame it all in on the back to bolt it in, epoxy bolt it in, and the reinforcement I would be putting on the inside at the top here would help support that weight pulling down on the transom itself. Yeah, we all got ideas, don't we? I'm glad there's guys posting their stuff on YouTube, because sometimes somebody comes up with an idea, you didn't even think of it, and it could be easier to do. It could be more practical than what you're thinking of. You never know, right? Even though the goal is to follow the plans as close as possible. Now, besides the mistakes I have made and fixed as I've been building this boat, I have followed the plans. Now, another thing, I changed the plywood. And I'll tell you exactly what I did there. According to his plans here, he needs 14 sheets of 3/4 inch planking. That's 3/4 inch plywood. Now at the time this all started going down, I had got 2 pieces of plywood, and then all of a sudden prices started to go through the roof. You remember that? They were at $100 a sheet, $94 a sheet, $87 a sheet, 14 times. Or not quite 14 times, 12 times even. That's a lot of money. Now I bumped into a different product. Okay, it was called Baltic birch. Now that comes in 18 mil, which is a hair thicker than 3/4 inch. So I contacted Jeff at the time, and I asked him, do you think this Baltic birch would work instead of using plywood? Because it's only $45 a sheet when I bought it. Because I bought 12 sheets of this stuff to finish the whole boat. So he said, sure. He said, you can use anything you want as long as you're going to seal it, which we do with the fiberglass and the epoxy, right? And when you flip it over, you got to seal the inside in. You got to seal it with epoxy of some sort. You've got to use some epoxy-based paint to protect the epoxy. Okay, so, sorry. There's procedure here. You got to seal the wood. So he said, as long as you seal that wood and take your time and do it right, he says there should be no problem. Now, this year I'm 63 years old. I'll be honest with you. Whenever I get this done, and the biggest thing stopping me with purchasing a motor, really, to be honest with you, the little bells and the whistles like steering wheels, steering columns. I like to go hydraulic. Lights. All those little extras are easy to get a hold of. They're really not giant purchases, right? The biggest purchase what I have invested in or looking in for right now would be the motor, the hydraulic system, and the gas tank, the fuel tank. That is the biggest purchase I can see I need to get, other than a little bit more wood to finish the top, detail it, cleats, and all that kind of stuff. Running lights, no problem. So that is the route I think I might be going. I might extend the back using the whole width of the hull, going up 22 inches, and that's where the motor's going to clamp on to, and that's all there is to it. It's a lot cheaper than going with the aluminum mount, obviously. I'm not in that tax bracket. Digging a hole in the back of the trandom's fine, but it's going to take all that space up inside the boat just to anchor that wooden mount down. I've seen it done. I have the drawings for it. Jeff sent me the drawings, where it goes, how it's done. I like using the full width of the hull in the back, extending it out and keep the motor outside the boat. And I believe that's the route I'm going to take, and it's not going to cost me no $1,600 to complete it. That's the idea, right? I also like to put a good mention out that when you fiberglass your boat, and I don't care how you do it, the finish will always be rough because you're rolling that resin on there straight onto the fiberglass. There's some type of sanding involved to smoothen that out. Now somebody said get some stick and peel and stick that on it after you've rolled it out. Okay, what that does is just makes the surface a little smoother. You still got to sand it, and you got to pay for the stick and peel. From my observation. All right. So I bought a sander. They're gonna make this story real short because you can check one of my videos out. It didn't work out. I was really disappointed because I spent money on it. Okay, and I really couldn't use it. It was chewing up belts. So I put a small cry out to anybody that uses a sander. Send it to me. I'll pay for the shipping or whatever. Well, let's make a deal, right? So remarkably enough, very short time after, I ordered a part from Amazon. And it came to the door, my dog's barking like a 3-fire alarm. Walk over, see the package there. There's also 2 other packages there. It turns out that one of my subscribers, Mark, had purchased me a brand new 9404 vertical speed Oh my God, there. That's why I write things down, right? Vertibles 4-inch sander, brand new out of the box. Makita, sorry. I was looking for the word Makita. Okay, brand new sander right out of the box. He literally went out and purchased me a sander, the eraser to keep it clean, and later on that day I received 10 belts of 60 grit. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still astonished that somebody would find it in their heart to part with the money to be able to purchase this for somebody they don't even know. Yeah, what a blessing. This guy, he must be a really nice guy. I don't know, like, he's, I forget where he's out of. I don't think it was Florida. Georgia, I'm thinking? Doesn't, no, maybe, no, Texas. I think it was Texas. Anyway, for somebody to turn around, take the time and do something like that, it's just wonderful. I still think about it today, and it's been, 6 months. I still think about it, and I keep it in its box. I clean it up. It's gonna be, that sander is going to see a lot more work. Now, him sending me that sander, Mark sending me that sander, allowed me to sand out my old hull with it over several days. It sanded it with the 60 grit was perfect. 50 grit was working, but it actually took a lot longer than the 60 grit because I tried the 50 on the transom. And excuse me, when he bought me the 60 grit, it took me two belts to sand out that whole boat, like the sides. I didn't do the bottom. I just scuffed it and for paint and primer. But I put an extra layer of epoxy, a rolled epoxy on an extra layer of epoxy with the intentions to sand it off so the fiberglass would be smooth. And it worked. But over 2 days, I think, I sanded it all out, all the way around the boat. And it left me a finish that I could prime and paint. And it was quite acceptable. If I never received this sander, I was planning to just paint the boat. Because I tried sanding it with a vertical sander, a little 5-inch guy with, what was I had on that? I had 40 grit? I bought 40 grit. It would have took me a year to sand out that whole boat the way I wanted it sanded, and my arms can't do it. My rotators are shot, right? So when I overuse my arms, what it does is the muscles attached to the rotator that go over your shoulder back here, and it goes up your neck, and you get it right here. It's like almost as bad as a toothache. If you've ever had a toothache, respect your shoulders. You don't want this pain, and it doesn't go away. It's there all the time. So the less I abuse my shoulders, the less pain I got going over my shoulder blades and up my neck, and it stops right here. Now, you got left side and you got a right side. They're both shot, okay? So depending which ones you're going to wear out first will depend which side of your neck gets sore, because that pain goes right up your neck, right there. Not nice, not nice, okay? I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I did decking for many years, and I did a lot of automotive work for many years, so you can just picture you're always using your arms, and I think I just wore them out. And there's not much they can do about it. So, respect your body. My knees have also been replaced, thank God, because I was at the point where I couldn't walk anymore. And 2018 and 2019, I got my right one in 18, my left one in 19, and I am still a member of society. I still have my job. I can still walk now. I can still do stuff. There's just certain positions you're not allowed to put yourself into when you get your knees rebuilt, or replaced, I should say. So thank God for that. So I'm still going. I'm still going here. Yeah, I still go to work, and I still like building projects. Ooh, there's my little face stripe in the back there. Cool. My 7-foot aquarium. Got it years ago. Oh, you see that fellow there? That's Louis, that big black long one there. He's a character. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so that's where we stand. Now, I haven't purchased anything for the boat yet so far this year. I'm estimating I've got another 4 to 5 months before I can actually work outside. Usually the end of March, the weather gets really mild, but the ground's still too soft. And since I'm working on dirt, that has to dry out too. So I'm slowly getting there. But my goal last year was to get a fiberglass. That worked out. That worked out. The fiberglass worked out. I thank my wife for that. She worked a couple of numbers, and we did a few things, and the money came through for the fiberglass. Thank God, because that is the biggest purchase when you're building just the boat, is the fiberglass. Down here, a 3-gallon kit, and all you get is fiberglass and the hardeners. 2 to 1, I believe. 2 to 1. And it's $460 Canadian for those 3 gallons. So you get 2-gallon resin, a 1-gallon hardener, obviously, right? The mix. And that's $460 when I bought it last summer, about 7 months ago. The fiberglass I paid a little bit over $4.16 a lineal foot. And I bought 120 feet and came up a little short because instead of going lengthways, because I didn't think I had the time to roll it out, I went across the boat. Okay, so I had like 7 layers, seven sections to lay out. And I did it that way. And what that did was allow me to properly resin out all the fiberglass as I went. And as I went forward, the last edge to fiberglass was my fresh edge. I'd lay out the next sheet across, roll it out, second sheet over that. So I was laying out. Now I offset them forward a bit. So I always had a lip at the front. So the next sheet can go over it. So I don't end up with 4 layers between each sheet, right? That worked out okay too. But like I said, I fell 10 feet short at the, here we go. That's why I brought this sheet up. I just finished using the word 4 times. I want to get it right, the stem. I'm telling you. Okay, so I fell 10 feet short from the stem back. So that piece went in after I did all the fiberglassing on the boat. So I figured up front it wouldn't hurt, because it's probably the least piece of the part of the boat that's in the water, and it's only going to sit so deep into the water. Here, the estimate for this particular boat is, I believe, 10 inches. Okay, there we go. Oh, perfect picture. I'll check the motor is not in the right place. Okay. It's estimated at 10 inches back there. You see that? Cool. Right? I'm going to have to move that motor, won't I? I wonder if I can do it right now. What do I have gluing it? Oh, there we go. Nice glue job. Yeah, this is going to take 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, here's a sneak preview, okay? Now, I said you build out the back of the boat, the width of the boat. It's not the scale, but that's kind of like what it's going to look like. You see that? I'm allowed to have a little fun. Come on now. So I got my wife to print out a couple of these little outboard motors. And the easiest one was the Honda. But that's how, basically, it's going to be set up. Okay? And of course, there's a 21-degree angle on the back of that, which will match the existing transom. And that's going to be a lot of fun, you know? I mean, really. I don't know how many people do this out there when they're doing a video, but you're getting it live right here. Here we go. There's your boat sitting on there on an angle. And of course, you use your tilt to straighten out the motor where you want it. Just sort of give you an idea how it looks. What do you think? Look at that, eh? I was practicing my camouflaging there. So that's it right there. The extended transom in the back, fiberglass, blended in, plywood, 2x4, and hang the motor off it. Pretty cool, right? Hey, just because we're older doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of fun. I know some fellows, I think they've forgotten that. Well, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go happy. Well, there you go, guys. We got a 36-minute video. Give you an idea what I'm going to do here. Oh, yeah. I wanted to add something here now. Check this out. Somebody contacts me and says, hey, I want to build one of these Jet Spira boats, but I found out he's passed away and his website's been removed from the internet. I said, yeah, that's right. A couple of months ago that happened. Yeah, you're right. He says, how can I get a set of these plans? Well, I really don't know. You'd have to contact somebody maybe who already has a set of these plans and who's willing to send you some pictures. You know, take the picture of each sheet, depending how many sheets. I have 5. I'm sure there's plans where that only have 2 sheets or whatever, 3 sheets. You take a picture of the photograph with your camera here and send them a picture, and then they can blow that up or print it off on a printer and go to town on building a boat. Now, I had 2 people ask me the same question. How can I get my hands on plans? I gave them the same answer. So he says, well, what are you building there? Well, I says, if you're watching my YouTube channel, I'm building a 30-foot dory from Jet Spira. One of his second largest boats he designed. I think the next one after that was 55-footer. And he was planning to do a 34-foot, I think he was going to do. And he never got around to it, as far as I know. And I don't know what the logistics is about photocopying somebody else's plans after they're passed to give them to somebody else so they can build them. I don't think it's wrong. I think it allows his plans to live on and allows somebody else to build them. Or somebody who, like myself, I wouldn't mind trying to build something else he has. I had a guy that sent me something called a PD. It's on the phone, a PDF file with 8 of Jet Spira's plans on it. Now, I didn't ask him where he got the plans. I'm presuming somebody sent him a copy of their plans. Excuse me, I got a bit of a dry throat here. And he's just put them all on a PDF, send them through the computer, and you just open the file up and you do what you want with them. So I think what we're going to try to do is encourage anybody that's building a Jet Spira boat. Share the plans until we're told not to. I don't see what's wrong with sharing the plans at this point. Like I say, it lets his work live on. And I think that's right. I think it's a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So if you're looking for a 30-foot dory, I have plans. I've taken pictures. I can send them to you. I'm willing to do that. Okay. I've no charge. I'm not charging for this. The other fella that sent me plans did not charge me for this. He gave them to me, and that's what we're doing. We're just giving plans back and forth to allow people to build Jet Spira plans. We're not charging. There's no money involved here. We just send you the pictures. You blow up the pictures. copy the drawings down, full size, and away you go. I think it's a good thing to do at this point. There's probably people out there that wouldn't be surprised they can't afford to pay for these plans. Well, they can get them for free now. Just ask. So the only plan I have at my disposal at this time is this Key West 30-foot dory. The plans were issued on the 8th, the 29th day of 2015. That's when this 30-foot Dora was, I guess, made legal to purchase. The drawing was finished. That's the date on it. The scale is 3/4, 1 foot and 8 inch. So if you need the scale, there you go. Plans come with the strong back. The drawings are here for the strong back. Now, if you want to see a really nice project that he has finished, James from James Boat Build, look him up. He just finished a Glenelg design. I think he's been working on it for 2 years. It's seafoam green. It's almost the same color, if not the same color as my shirt I'm wearing. And he's done a fantastic job. I mean, he's built the boat. He's bought a new motor for it. You can hear all about that. He's put all the furnishings on it. He's out in Florida, though, so he can put a lot of time in. I think I was just watching one of his videos, and he's specified the fact that that's his third build. Now, his first build was some kind of small boat, rowboat thing. You can actually see through it, so I don't know what he covered it with. His second boat was a Jaspira boat he built. I think he sold it now, and he had built this Glenelg design, which is a little bit more detail involved in the construction of the Glenelg design, but Glenelg has some really nice designs. I mean, they have a lot to choose from. So if you're looking, check out Glenelg. And I say to Jaspira, I think the only way you're going to get plans if you can find somebody that is already building that size of boat, or they come on the net and say, hey, guys, I'm willing to send you a copy of my plans. Now, I paid $168 for mine at the time. And what that does is just save me trying to figure out all the right... Oh, whoa. It's my dog as she's shedding. Little Ruby here, my three-legged wonder. Hey, baby. Yeah. It comes off her. This is a German Shepherd. You own a German Shepherd? This is what you're getting, okay? 24/7. 24/7. But she's a great dog. I love it. You gotta be a dog lover to put up with dog hair. My sister's got something called a doodle. It doesn't shed hair, so it's still possible to have a dog. Hey, baby. And my male's sitting in my bed over there. He's got his spot, Zeus. He's 120 pounds. He's a mix with a husky. Oh, that attitude. Stubborn as hell. Okay? She's just asking for attention. If I don't give it to her, she's going to start barking. So, forgive me. So, I think that's all I have for you right now. I'm letting you know I'm still here. It's, I would have took pictures of the boat or video, but it looks the same as it did last time I showed it to you. Year end, I like to show the first snow. It still looks like the first snow. There's snow on a tarp. So I didn't bother going out there. It is chilly out there today. I think it's minus 18 Celsius. So there we go, everyone. Once more, thank you very much, Mark, for the sander. I know he's going to get tired of me saying this, but I'm just astonished. I really am. I'm still thinking about it. I have 101 subscribers. Now, I checked, I think a week ago, I had 98. 10 from the last time I checked. So a couple of more people's jumped on board. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm doing my best to try to keep this as light as possible. And of course, you probably know by now, I don't edit my footage because I don't have a PC to do that with. Maybe one day I will. Give me another element of I don't know, creativity. I can just imagine what I can do, and I can start adding all those little things people have been doing out there on their videos. So you're getting rough cut, you're getting it live, and that's the best I can do. I'm growing in my beard here. I like it. I think I'm going to keep it. You know, I grow it in, I take it off, I grow it in, I think this time it's going to stay unless there's a reason why, you know, I can't wear it. I don't know what reason there could be, but you never know, right? Can't wait to get back on this project this summer. This is some of the stuff you got to go through when you don't have a garage or you don't have a shed, or, you know, I contemplated building actually not building, what am I saying? You know those tents for cars you can get them 10 by 20 feet long? Yeah, I was contemplating buying 2 of those. It'd run me about $900 and put them end to end and then open up the far end that I can go in and out of. And that would probably give me more time to work on it. Let's say a rainy day and I'm off, I can't work on it. Well, maybe they'd allow me to work on it now that I have it, you know, a garage type park cover over it. They're made of plastic and they come with a frame. I think it's a steel tube frame. You've seen them. People have them on acreages. Some people actually put them out in their driveway in front of their house to give their car some protection over the winter. I've seen that. Yeah. So maybe I can find some on special, but I would definitely need 2 tarps 10 by 20 is what I'm looking at. And butt them both together. And then I have 40 feet. I can work inside. I know the boat is 8 feet 4 inches wide when it's flipped over, but that's still enough room to walk past the boat. You know, 2 feet would still be sufficient. 8, 9, 10, 1 foot. 8, 9, yeah, a foot would still give me enough room to walk by. And if it's upright, I'm working in the boat anyway, not on the outside of the boat. But it would get me out of the weather though, wouldn't it? That would buy me most of the summer, even if I have bad weather. I have one video where I got caught putting the fiberglass down and a storm cloud came and I ran like a crazy person to put on these sheets of 1/4 inch down the side and throw a tarp over, and it only lasted 15 minutes. But I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I'm gonna tell you something. The next day when I went to pull that tarp off, everywhere the rain hit the glass, the resin, it made a little crater, a little puddle. I didn't think it would do that. I thought maybe it'd stain it a little, but it actually let the back starboard corner of the boat, about, I don't know, 2 by 1 inch. There's a bunch of little craters everywhere, and that's what the rain made. You know, and it was fresh, and I knew I didn't want to have to end up filling this whole boat or playing around with it. So I rushed and I put on those sheets I had outside. I got a little dirt on it, but that scraped right off. But yeah, that 2 of those 10 by 20 car covers, butt end to end, would give me probably all the protection in the world. Set up a couple of lights inside. I can do a lot of damage this summer if I did that. Because the second it's not really nice outside, you know, if you're using epoxy to start sealing the inside of the boat, you got to watch out for the rain. You got to make sure it's warm enough for that epoxy to kick in a reasonable amount of time, right? A couple of things to think about. I'm just wondering if it's worth the spending the $900. I mean, I'll always have them. I've seen them around. I don't know how long they last, but it's definitely an idea. We'll see what happens. Oops, sorry. Dropped my pen. I have left my number. I've left my address in the information in my my blog. If anybody has anything they don't need, they can send it my way. I'm looking for cleats, boat stuff. But you know what I'm saying? And somewhere down the road, I know I'm going to have to come up with some kind of green for sure to buy a motor. We'll see what happens. I got another 3 years left on my truck to pay off. Maybe after the truck's paid off, if I'm still in reasonable shape, I may purchase a motor then. I'm hoping to get the boat basically done this season, if everything goes well. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. All the extras like lighting and the cleats, that can always be done. But I'm looking to get all the woodwork on the top done. Sealed inside, a floor put in. I still got a floor to put in. You remember, if you watch one of my videos, I raised the floor 9 inches. Excuse me. Now, the reason why I did that I was planning to put foam in the bottom, right, for buoyancy. But I thought about that. Now, I started to ask questions. Now, I know this should be another video, but I'll just go real quick. Foam weighs, I think, a square foot of foam could weigh up to 2 or 4 pounds or 3 pounds. So you're putting a lot of weight over the whole boat. So I'm looking for different products other than foam, or it may not even bother. Don't worry about it, right? Like I said, this isn't going to be in the water 24/7, right? Only when I use it, because I'm not near a lake anyway. I'll have to travel to use the boat. So I may not even putting anything in there. We'll see what happens with that. So I got 52 minutes on this video. It's another long video. I'm really sorry. I said I'd try to cut them down. I get talking, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So listen, thank you, everybody. I hope there's something on this video you can use, or definitely giving you a heads up of what's going on. Definitely letting you know I'm still around, okay? So this build is still on. I'd like to thank everybody, my subscribers, viewers alike. Thank you very much. And like I always say, if there's something you need, drop a text, drop a line. I go in there every once in a while to check it out, see what's happening. And thank you very much. Have a good day, and hopefully winter will pass quickly this season. Take care now.